Thanks, guys. Back at you now with more NFL. I'm Leo Schaefer. Carlton to the left, Andrew to the right. A big week next week in the NFL. A lot of notable matchups. Carlton, what stands out to you the most out of the spread?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of huge matchups this week. One that really stands out to me is Buccaneers versus Falcons. You have two really high-powered offenses, one led by Kirk Cousins, the other led by Baker Mayfield. The Bucs are a little injured at receiver right now, which could be problematic for them. But I think these two high-powered offenses would be a great game, actually. Great.
Well, we just need to see their rushing game with Rashad White, Bucky Irving, and Houston native Sean Tucker. He had a great game against the Saints. Hopefully he could turn it up a notch against the Falcons. I'd need that personally as a Saints fan. Andrew, what about your opinions for the game?
I think that it's going to be a game won in the trenches. Atlanta has the ninth worst rushing defense. They're allowing around 137, 140 rushing yards per game, and Tampa Bay is averaging about that much. So with the trio in the backfield, with Evans and Godwin out, expect to see a ground and pound for Tampa Bay.
I like your analysis right there. Another game that I really want to dive into is Seattle and Buffalo, two teams that definitely could seem like some playoff teams in the future. Carlton, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you got two teams fighting for a playoff spot in two very tough divisions. I mean, it should be a good one, yeah.
Seattle started 3-0, then lost 3. They won last week, but should be interesting to see how they face against Buffalo, and especially Josh Allen, who has been phenomenal. Andrew, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's actually a very important game for Seattle as they are currently in first of the NFC West, and they can bridge this lead with the Niners playing a tough opponent this week and losing their stars. But I think the big thing for Seattle is their passing game without DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett's going to have to step up. Expect JSN to get a lot of targets, and the run game with Walker and Charbonnet will be as good as ever.
You're right. Metcalf did get carted off last week with an injury. Hopefully, Lockett and Jigba and the rushing game could provide what is needed for the offense. While we have time remaining, Cowboys 49ers, although both teams seem to be very overrated this year, it is a long-standing rivalry. What are your thoughts?
I mean, two overrated powerhouses, in my opinion. I mean, Cowboys very underwhelming this year. Dak, after he got the contract, he's not been playing too well. I know Brock Purdy has a couple of his receivers down. I think it'll be a good.
Needless to say, both quarterbacks have not had their strongest seasons. Andrew, any final thoughts while we have time?
It's going to be a very defensive matchup with both offenses struggling, and especially San Francisco struggling with injuries. And the question is, can Dallas get their run game going?
I love your analysis on that game, too. You are spot on today, Andrew. That's all we have time for. We are going to send it to the outro.